Here we are at the TWA Hotel for a little bit of a staycation at JFK. And these little mini kind of museum rooms within the hotel just give you an idea of what it was like to live during the 1960s and brings back a little bit of nostalgia with the furniture and the decor and even some of the old games and movie posters. There's a really great 007 old school movie poster. One of my favorite things in this room, of course, was the Barbie dream house, because as an avid Barbie collector, it was lovely to see this old school cardboard Barbie dream house that a kid would have played with at the time. And yeah, it's just a great, you don't even feel like you're in New York. You feel like you're sort of transported to another era and another time, and it was honestly the ultimate little staycation. We loved every minute of it. Hi, I am at the TWA Hotel right now, and this has been the coolest experience. It's been the ultimate staycation. Honestly, I just needed to get out of my apartment and go somewhere different, and this is one of a few replica rooms that they have in the hotel. This is a replica of a 1962 all-American family living room, and it is giving me all the nostalgic vibes. I love everything about this. There's an Etch-a-Sketch, there's this Barbie dream house, which is, I don't know if you know this about me, but I am a huge Barbie collector, and yeah, I'm loving all of it. This has been the coolest day, and I'm super happy to take you guys along to get a little sneak peek on all the different spots in the hotel, because it's insane that this is right here in New York City, right at JFK, and it's been the best time. This little area of the TWA Hotel highlights the architect of the hotel, which is Eero Saarinen, and he is super famous, as you can see there on the far left, for the womb chair, as well as the tulip chair and the tulip table, and he also was the architect for the St. Louis Arch, the gateway to the Midwest. And this is a replica of what his office would have looked like back in the day, and just has a few little mementos of his, a little cartoon. There's that iconic womb chair, and oh, there's him working on the arch, an old rotary phone. Yeah, just gives you a picture of what his life would have been like. These hallways, honestly, are one of my favorite things about the hotel. You just feel like you're in a space station or something otherworldly. And then upstairs at the very top, beautiful detailing, is one of the most incredible features of the hotel, and it is the Runway Pool. It's a fully heated pool overlooking the runways. You can watch the planes take off, and those are some old vintage posters of all the places that TWA could take you. And out here is just the most incredible view, and this pool, we spent hours in this pool. I mean, it's just to die for. Down here at the base of the hotel, there's a food hall, which offers up a lot of different vendors, so guests can just grab food on the way to catch their flight. And more importantly, you can see here that famous tulip chair from Aerosaronn and the beautiful tulip table. And as we walk through, you'll see another little, kind of like a mini museum at the end of the hall that shows some of the transportation of the time, as well as old luggage and what people used to wear back in the day, to just give you a little snapshot into what travel was like at that time.
this is where you really get to start to see the beauty and the most incredible nature of the architecture of this hotel. I mean, it's just completely fluid, just like his tulip and womb chairs, but in a building form. And this little sign here, there's 2 of them in the hotel. I'll show you one of them later in the Sunken Lounge, but it's a company in Italy. It's the one company in the entire world that makes vintage signs like this. Shows you all the departs that are coming and going. And this is where we're having dinner tonight, at the Paris Cafe. And as you can see, it's outfitted in, once again, that signature tulip table and tulip chair, and you can look out on the airport. Keep in mind that obviously not during COVID times, it's bustling. Normally we are definitely here at a strange time when the hotel is not as busy, but honestly that made for a really kind of amazing staycation because we weren't too concerned about being next to a lot of people, and we were super careful. And as you can see down there, that is what's called the Sunken Lounge because it's literally sunken in the middle of the airport. And we're just gonna head down there and have a little bit of wine and yeah, enjoy the view. Here's another little mini museum that's focused on the uniforms that the TWA flight attendants and pilots used to wear back in the day. And it's pretty incredible because you would think that collaborations, you see a lot about brands collaborating now, but something that's actually been around for forever. I mean, there's collaborations with Valentino, with Ralph Lauren. That's the Valentino collab right there, yeah. And back when, travel was such a luxury, it made complete sense that the uniforms would be equally as luxurious. And I believe these are the Ralph Lauren ones up here as well, very classic. Just shows you how they evolved over time. Really cool. That's the Ralph Lauren, it's beautiful. And down in the Sunken Lounge, you get a really great view outside of Connie, which is an airplane that was commissioned by Howard Hughes in 1939 by Lockheed Martin. And it broke that era's transcontinental flight speed record. And so it was a very, very fast airplane. You also notice this adorable sign changes to different images throughout the night. And the Connie actually transforms into a bar, a cocktail bar, when it's not COVID. Obviously, space restrictions are kind of applying right now. And here's this amazing, almost sci-fi hallway again. Just leads you. There's 2 different large wings. A wing named after the architect of the hotel, and then a wing named after Howard Hughes, who was, of course, the owner of TWA for quite some time. And just a revolutionary aeronautical figure. I don't know if you've seen The Aviator, but it'll teach you a lot about Howard Hughes. So we decided to kind of explore the hotel. We're actually going to go check out the replica of Howard Hughes' office. And his looks far different from Eero Saarinen's, but very luxurious all the same. This is Howard Hughes' office. office, or a replica of his office. In the hallways of part of the hotel, you can get a glimpse at some of these old school posters advertising all of the different places that you could travel on TWA. And they almost look like movie posters, to be honest. But they're a great reminder that travel used to be such a privilege, and to go and visit all these places was sometimes a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and something I feel like we just take for granted now a little bit. Here's an up-close shot of the Connie Airplane that I was speaking to earlier. This beautifully restored plane that's now been transformed into a cocktail bar. And there's actually a little ice skating rink out here as well, which is normally operating during non-COVID times. You can see a nice shot of the outside of the hotel as some of those long wings that we were walking through earlier as well. And apparently the airplane also took a tour through Times Square before it was brought to the outside of the hotel, where it now calls this area home. I could talk about the history of TWA and Howard Hughes, honestly, for much longer than a 13-minute video. I'll link one of my favorite books that kind of goes into the history of Howard Hughes and all of his accomplishments throughout his lifetime. But overall, this particular hotel, it was designed in 1962 by Aerosaronn, and it ceased to operate in about 2002. And then a group came in 2019 and really revitalized the hotel and renovated it and put in these beautiful little mini museums that I took you through earlier, and really made it what it is today. And honestly, it was the most perfect place to have a little break from the city. And next time I'm flying out of JFK, I'll definitely be popping in to say hi.